Divine Genesis Adventure, Part 1. In the very, very beginning, there was just darkness and quiet, like a giant, cozy blanket wrapped around the universe. But then, with a twinkle in his eye, God whispered, "Let there be light." And suddenly, the darkness vanished, making room for the most spectacular show on earth, the Divine Genesis Adventure. God smiled and called the bright part day, and the cozy dark part night. And guess what? It was only the beginning of this incredible adventure. On the second day, God decided to create a masterpiece. The sky, so big and blue, like a gigantic playground for the clouds. He named it Heaven, and it became the coolest blanket fort ever. As the Divine Genesis Adventure unfolded, God scooped up the waters and gave the land a big, welcoming hug. "Hello, Earth," God cheered. The waters became seas, and the land was named Earth. God giggled and said, "It's fantastic." Now, on the third day, God got artsy. He painted the ground with vibrant colors, making flowers, trees, and grass dance together in a joyous parade. Each tree had its own special fruit, and God thought it was the most dazzling garden ever. The fourth day brought the grand light show. God placed the sun to play tag with the clouds during the day, the moon to peek out at night, and the stars to twinkle like the friendliest fireflies. The sky turned into a magical canvas painted with celestial wonders. But wait, there's more. On the fifth day, God threw a party in the oceans and the sky. Playful fish and graceful birds, and God blessed them with the best dance moves and flying tricks. "Be fruitful and multiply," God cheered, and the party went on. Now, for the most exciting part, the sixth day, God created land animals, each with its own quirks and charm. Lions roared, monkeys swung, and butterflies fluttered. But then, in the spotlight of the Divine Genesis Adventure, God created humans, Adam and Eve. God shaped them with love, like the most fantastic sculptures. He breathed life into them and said, "You're my special creation. Take care of this wonderful world." Adam and Eve explored the enchanting garden, naming animals and sharing giggles with God. God provided a buffet of delicious fruits and green herbs for everyone to enjoy. "It's a feast," God exclaimed. And as the sun dipped below the horizon, God looked at everything with pure joy. "It's not just good, it's amazing." And so, the Divine Genesis Adventure came to an end, with stars twinkling in applause. God had created a world bursting with colors, laughter, and love. The end, but really, just the beginning of more incredible adventures. The end.
The Divine Genesis Adventure, Part 2. Once upon a time, in the enchanting garden where the flowers danced and the trees whispered tales of creation, a new chapter unfolded. The sun kissed the leaves, and the air was filled with the sweet melody of birdsong. Adam and Eve, the first two adventurers in this divine journey, wandered hand in hand, marveling at the wonders around them. But in the shadows, a cunning serpent slithered. His eyes gleamed with mischief as he approached Eve. Did God truly say, "You shall not eat of every tree of the garden"? The serpent hissed, weaving doubt like a mischievous spell. Eve, with innocence in her eyes, replied, "We may eat the fruit of the trees." But God said, "You shall not eat it, nor shall you touch it, lest you die." The serpent, a master of deception, slyly whispered, "You won't die. God knows that when you eat it, your eyes will open, and you'll be like God, knowing good and evil." Fascinated by the idea of wisdom and knowledge, Eve gazed at the tree. Its fruit looked delicious, pleasing to the eyes, and desirable for gaining wisdom. The serpent's words echoed in her mind, and she plucked the fruit, taking a bite. She then offered it to Adam, and he too took a bite. Suddenly, their eyes were open, and they realized they were naked. Quickly, they sewed fig leaves together to cover themselves, for they felt exposed in the newfound awareness of good and evil. In the cool of the day, they heard the sound of the Lord God walking in the garden. Fearful and ashamed, Adam and Eve hid among the trees. God called, "Where are you?" Adam admitted, "I heard your voice, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid." God, in his infinite wisdom, questioned Adam, "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the forbidden tree?" Adam, unable to bear the weight of his choice, pointed to Eve. "The woman you gave me, she gave me the fruit, and I ate." God turned to Eve, who explained, "The serpent deceived me, and I ate." The consequences unfolded like pages of a story. God spoke to the serpent, cursing it and foretelling a future conflict. To the woman, God spoke of increased sorrow and pain in childbirth, and the man's dominion over her. To Adam, God spoke of the ground being cursed, bringing forth thorns and thistles, and the toil of labor for sustenance. Yet, even in the face of consequences, God showed mercy. He made tunics of skin for Adam and Eve, clothing them with his grace. As Adam named his wife Eve, the mother of all living, they faced the realities of their choices. The divine Genesis adventure took an unexpected turn, revealing the delicate balance between free will and the consequences of decisions. In the end, God, in his infinite love, placed cherubim at the gates of the garden, guarding the way to the tree of life. The adventures of Adam and Eve continue beyond the garden, a journey of redemption and grace, reminding all that even in our choices, God's love and mercy prevail. And so, the divine narrative unfolded, teaching the young and old alike the profound lessons of choice, consequence, and the enduring grace of a loving Creator. The end.
Once upon a time, in a world where people had forgotten to be kind, there lived a man named Noah who worshipped God. Noah was a man of faith, but everyone else around him disobeyed and hated God. One day, something shocking happened. God spoke to Noah, revealing a plan to destroy the wicked world, sparing only Noah's family. God instructed Noah to build a wooden ark, a boat big enough for his family and many animals. Noah got to work, following God's exact instructions. Probably, people mocked Noah as he explained why he was building an ark. But Noah kept building, also spreading the word about God, though nobody listened. As the ark neared completion, God brought animals of all kinds, 7 of some species, 2 of others. Birds and beasts, tiny and tall, all made their way to the ark. Perhaps people shouted insults at Noah, but they did not stop sinning against God. They did not ask to enter the ark. Finally, all the animals and birds were aboard. God invited Noah and his family into the ark. As they entered, God shut the door. Then the rain came, a great downpour soaking the earth for 40 days and nights. Floodwaters covered towns and villages. The ark floated on top of the rising waters, sheltering Noah from the flood. After 5 months, a drying wind sent by God brought the ark to rest on the mountains of Ararat. Noah and his family waited inside as the water lowered. Noah sent a raven and a dove out. The dove returned with an olive leaf, a sign that the earth was slowly drying. God told Noah it was time to leave the ark. Together, Noah and his family unloaded the animals. Noah, filled with gratitude, built an altar and worshipped God who had saved him and his family from the awful flood. God gave Noah a wonderful promise. Never again would he send a flood to judge human sin. As a great reminder of this promise, God gifted the world with a rainbow, a beautiful sign of his covenant. And so, Noah and his family found new beginnings after the flood. In time, his descendants re-peopled the whole earth, and all nations came from Noah and his children.